Hi there, stampers and crafters. My name is Tami White from stampwithtami.com, and welcome to my online class where today we're going to be doing fun folds. And it's a really cool fun fold. I'm calling it the Keyhole Easel card, and it is just stunning. When I put it together, I stumbled upon this technique by accident, and then when it all came together, I was like, oh, I love it. So I'm also going to show you how to make this coordinating box that goes along with it, and super cute. I'll show you the box right here. So this is one of our new Scallop Kraft boxes. So I'll show you how to make the belly band to go around that, and how to do some Stampin' Blends coloring. I also used the hand pen stamp set that I used in our class on Tuesday. So if you missed that, you want to check that out. Simply pop on over to the resource page by clicking on the link in this video's description, or go to stampwithtami.com. I have a link there to it, or you can click the button that says videos and you'll find them there. And I also have on the resource page the PDF that accompanies this class, as I do with all of my online classes. This has all the measurements on it and all the supplies that I'm using. So all the supplies that I'm about to use today in this class are all available in my online store. So you can reach this also by hitting the resource page. There are hot links that go right to these products right on that resource page. Or if you're on YouTube, there's links right in this video's description as well. So that will get you to some of these quicker if you're looking for the boxes or the blends or the dies that I'm about to use. You'll find all of that information there. All right, so let's get started with the fun. So I am going to start with, I guess I'll start with showing you them. How's that sound? So this is the Keyhole Easel card. So when it's closed, right, it looks like a regular card. It's the same size as a regular card. But when it opens, you've got this peekaboo window, and your greeting stays on the inside and holds up, and this is hard to do at this angle, but it holds up the top there. So you have a nice pretty little peekaboo window here. You've got your greeting down below, and then it folds down and fits into a normal medium standard size envelope. And the coordinating box is the Scalloped Kraft Treat boxes that just came out in Stampin' Up's new catalog. If you're not familiar with that, that just came out a couple of weeks ago, and you can get a hard copy of this on my stampwithtami.com blog. Just click on the Catalogs tab. And then I also did just a regular size card, a regular standard opening card, just to show it different ways. Same design, shown different ways. And the paper here is the hand-penned designer series paper. So it all is coordinated. Stampin' Up all have made the stamp sets, the paper, and the dies all to go together. And they really do. I have a hand-penned week. If you got my newsletter last night, I had a free tutorial in that for you with the hand-penned suite. If you are in my VIP club, you will also have a free class. If you go to the VIP site, it's on there now, that I created for you with this hand-penned suite. So that's a bonus for you. If you're in my Stampin' Up demonstrator group, you can get that there too. And if you're not in my Stampin' Up demonstrator group but want to be, or my VIP club, you can get the information on all that at stampwithtami.com. But there's an awesome deal on joining right now. So you get $56 free. You can pick $155 of anything you want, and you pay only $99. And you get free shipping. So that's a pretty darn good deal. If you love everything you see, I say that's the way to go. If you have questions on that, you can drop me a note. All right, so I'm going to get started with our flowers. So the flowers are the same on all the projects. So I'm just going to take some scrap paper and I also pre-cut the labels. So the labels that I'm using on here came from the Tasteful Labels die set. So there's a bunch of different labels here in that die set. They look like this. They're really cool. This is the one that we'll be using to cut our peekaboo. No, this is the one. Ah, crud. I just realized I cut the wrong one for my greeting, but that's okay. This is the one we're going to use for the peekaboo hole, but I should note you could use other ones to do this technique. You could use other dies. It doesn't have to be, and this is not the correct one, so I'm going to recut that after. So let's do our stamping and coloring first, and then I'll recut and stamp the words. I'm using Memento Black ink because we are going to be doing some blends coloring, stamp and blend coloring. And if you joined me on my last class, we did a similar coloring with the same stamp on craft paper and Stampin' Blends, which was a really fun look. Now we're just doing basic white, and I'm even going to do the same colors. Now you're going to want to stamp 3 of these if you're doing the box, 2 of these if you're just doing the card. So 1 for the box, 2 for the card. And then we'll do our coloring. So I'm going to start with the colors here are brand new ink colors. These are Pale Papaya, Polished Pink, and Soft Succulent. And these are Stampin' Blend markers. They're alcohol markers, and they come in each color comes in 2 colors, a light and a dark for each color, and they're made to blend. So the Pale Papaya is really just this one little piece on here. It's not a ton of blending on that one, but I'm still going to do just a little bit with the light. I start with the light and then maybe just a little bit around it with the dark. And then we'll move into our polished pink. So I'm going to do all of the flowers in the polished pink, starting with the lightest and coloring in the entire inside of the flower with it. And then we'll highlight and blend with the darker marker. And I will note the alcohol markers dry kind of fast. So if you are working with large areas, I would do a small section at a time. And they work best when it's wet. So we want to work fast there to blend that in. See how it's giving it that pretty little look? Also, they are made to bleed through. Part of being juicy and needing to be wet to blend. It's part of the fun with the alcohol markers. So make sure you have something covering your workspace so you don't bleed through to it. And we'll start on our larger flower here. Aw, thanks you guys. Oh, I'm glad you loved that project on Tuesday. That was really, I had so much fun with it, and I'm really just loving this whole suite. It's just so beautiful. Oh, you guys are awesome. I hope you guys all have wonderful weekend plans. For me, it's doing some more construction around the house. I feel like that's a never-ending thing. It's the never-ending project. And yeah, probably just hanging out. I hope it's going to be a nice weekend where you guys are. I hope everybody has a nice weekend. And I hope it is. You guys are going to spend it with lots of crafting. That's my hope for you. All right, so the last coloring is the soft succulent. So I'm going to do the stem and the soft succulent. We'll start with the lighter colors. So the lighter color, the lighter of the, oops. I'll go ahead and point out what I just did because I like to use the brush tip end unless it's a very small area. There are 2 tips, one's fine tip and one's brush tip. So I did just open the fine tip end there, the nib, and it would have worked just fine. It just wasn't what I wanted. It wasn't my personal preference. But I'm glad that we have options. I find coloring very, very therapeutic. Like when I'm working here, I just feel like I'm just like, oh, all of those worries just melted away. And that just reminded me as of, Calgon, take me away, like of the other thing I need to finish up this weekend, and that's taxes. Anybody else wait until the last minute to do their taxes? Yeah. I guess I did have that going on this weekend too, so good times. So I did a little dark coloring there with the darker, and now I'm just blending it in. And then I think I want to layer some dark on there just to give it really dramatic look there. And I would do I would do 2 of these flowers for the card and 1 for the box. So depending on what you're making, that's the amount that you want. And then we're going to take the die from the hand pen set. So these dies are made to match the stamp set. They even match the designer series paper. So there's the stamp set and the die set. And so there is an outline here that matches the stamp perfectly. That's what we're going to use to cut this out. So we're going to take the outline. We're going to put this on the die cut machine. Through the magic of video. Boop. There it is. I love magic tricks, don't you? Oh, good times. So fun. All right. So, but while we have the imaginary die cut machine out, while we have the die cut machine out, I'm going to recut that label with the correct label that I wanted to use. So I actually will bring it out. We will use it because we will be using it on the card. Anywho. So I am just going to need a piece of white scrap. Do I have a piece of white scrap? I do. I have the one I just colored on. And we're just going to, that's the one that I wanted. It's right. Yeah, it's not the one that I originally cut. Okay, so then we're just going to run that through and that's going to cut our label. We are going to keep using this die for the other pieces in the card. But we'll get to that in just a minute. Now, when I show you the fun fold, like how I teased you and made you wait for it. I was so mean. Oh, I'm glad to hear I'm not the only one that waited on their taxes. Oh my gosh. Yeah. Gotta love Uncle Sam. Okay, I'm just gonna go ahead and stamp on this one while we have it out. Now this, I use the words. There are beautiful words in the hand petal stamp set, but I actually took words from Positive Thoughts because I loved this Hugs, Prayer, and Love font. So I'm just gonna stamp that right in the middle. All right, this is the last time. I'm not mentioning taxes anymore because every time I do, my blood pressure, I can feel it going up. Like, oh, right, I still gotta do that. Yeah, no more. Okay, from now on, it's all happy place and stamps and crafting. Okay, so now it's time to make our fun fold. We've come to that fun portion of the show where we do the fun fold. Now, if you have a Simply Scored tool that you can score with, I would recommend that for this one. If you don't have it, your paper trimmer works just fine too, which is what I'm going to use right now because I'm in a temporary workspace and I only have my paper trimmer available. So I do have these measurements on that free PDF. In case you bounced in late. I know the people that voted for no 5-minute warm-up won. There was a few that liked it because they can't get in right away and they liked having some time so that they didn't miss anything. But I know you guys can rewind and watch after, so don't worry. You're not going to miss anything. But those of you who voted no 5-minute warm-up one. So if you missed the very beginning, there is a free PDF on the resource page. You can click if you're watching on Facebook or YouTube. I am live on both, and I have a link directly to this resource page in that video and has everything that I'm using and talking about today right there. Try to make it easy for you. Also, if you're new, welcome. Be sure to hit that subscribe button so you don't miss any of our fun classes. I do these twice a week, and we always have fun. It's always a good time. So that free PDF is there. And it has the measurements and it has the scoring that I'm going to be doing as well. So you don't need to screenshot. You don't need to be writing really fast because I have this for you. So basically, I've got an 11 by 4 1/4 sheet. So this is just half of an 8 1/2 by 11. This is Blushing Bride is the color, and I've just scored it in half. So it's at the 5 1/2 mark. Okay, so that's part of our base. And then the other part is going to be this piece that's going to go on top. But before we do that, oops, we have one more score that we need to do. And that is at 2 3/4, coincidentally. So this is also the same measurements if you were doing a Z fold. So one way, this is a Z fold card. So I'm actually giving you measurements here for two fun folds. We're not doing a Z fold today, but you could. You could actually make one out of this other design that I made. You could make this into a Z fold card. So anywho, that's Z fold, but we're not going to do that. We are going to flip it the other way, and we're going to turn this into an easel card. Oh, thanks you guys. Love you. Okay, so I'm going to attach this piece to the card base, but only right here on this lower quarter. I'm going to take some, do I want to do that right now? You know what? I'm not going to attach it yet. I'm not going to attach it yet. What I am going to attach is the designer series paper, though. So we'll go ahead and attach the designer series paper. This is from the hand-penned collection. Beautiful paper. Very, very pretty paper. Just stick that on our top panel. And I am going to cut Stampin' cut machine back in. We're going to cut that same die that I just had. I'm going to be using that for all the cuts going forward. I did find it was okay. The designer paper's thin enough that it's okay to have the two attached when you do this part. So smack dab in the middle is where you want that. Straight and smack dab in the middle. Crank that through. Okay, so it's when you open it, you're going to have this piece in the middle here. Save this for the box. So just put that aside. And then you have your little peekaboo window. So this is going to be our peekaboo window. Now we're going to attach it to the card base. I'll just move this out of the way, but it's coming right back in. Okay, so what I'm going to do is put adhesive only on this bottom quarter. And I'm just using regular seal, but you could use tear tape or Seal Plus, something a little bit stronger if you prefer. A lot of times when we're doing movable cards, that is preferred. Okay. I know there's a little bit of adhesive there, but that's okay. It's not going to hurt anything. Okay, so this is what it looks like right now. Bring this right back in. Now the die was strong enough, like the designer paper was thin enough that the die could go through cardstock and designer series paper together, but I would not have put it through 2 layers of cardstock. That's too much. So now I'm going to cut it again. So now we just have one cardstock because I'll just show it to you again. Okay, so see how we have this attached on top? So we're really just cutting through this bottom panel because the top's already cut. So I'm just using the top cut to line it up. Oh, I'm glad you love it. So this is actually, I came across this technique by accident. It wasn't what I was originally designing, and I love when happy accidents happen. I was totally going for something else. I had originally created my straight up card, my regular card, and I was like, oh, I want to do an easel card. I want to do something fun. And then I just started playing, and all of a sudden I was like, oh, what would happen if I did this? And I cut out the middle with these dies, and I loved it. You guys have to let me know what you think. I just really thought it was so fun. So you've got this keyhole. Sorry, it's just coming off because of the adhesive on there. Oops. Actually, it didn't cut all the way through, so there's that. No worries, we'll get it. Okay, so now we've got, what the heck? Oh, I had dirt on my thing. Okay, so now we have our keyhole, and it's going to pop up like this. See it? I confess, my cutting pads were super dirty before I did this video, before I popped on here. And so I thought, oh, I'm really embarrassed to even bring these out here because they've got, stuff stuck. So I washed them without thinking. And so they dry fairly quickly, right? But they don't always dry in between the crevices. So I got a little bit of that on here. I guess that is just going to be some of the fun of this card. I think I'm just going to have to cover that up with a flower. What do you guys think? Yeah, we can do that. Okay, so let's go ahead and put our insert on the inside. It's just white. Oh, my goodness, what is that? All kinds of dirt today. I guess I'm just messy. No idea what that was on my adhesive. First it's on the Big Shot, then it's on the adhesive. And I want to cut that down. I feel like that is just a hair too big. Okay, so I put 4 inches by 5 1/4 on the PDF for the measurements for this. You might, and this is totally up to you. You might like it. But I feel like when I was just lining it up, I feel like I want it a little bit smaller. So I just cut it down 1/4 inch on either side. So now it is 5 inches by 3 3/4. Okay, so that's our inside. Now we're going to attach our words. And you know what? Let's go ahead and bring our flowers in here because they're all going on with Stampin' Dimensionals. What do you guys think? You like it so far? I am a big fan of fun folds. And I get asked them a lot, so I know you guys are too. I know I'm not alone in this. I know that when I ask you guys, when I poll, I know you guys often say, but I ask what you're looking for, I get a lot of fun folds. Fun folds and cards that are moving. Okay, so we've got words, flowers. And here's how it goes. Shut this, totally shut, and then line that up on the inside. So that there. Okay, so that's, and then don't forget, boom. That's it. That's it. Okay, but when it's closed, look at, you've got your little, it's like a peekaboo. Okay, so then we're going to take the flowers and line them up, and I feel like I'm going to be a little bit more strategic with my lining up to cover. I'm going to do my lining up a little bit different on this one to cover up the little smudge that I had there and the little smudge that I have here. Does that work? I don't like it upside down. You just want to make sure that your dimensionals don't get on this white part, because that's not going to stay attached. So, there we go, right there, right there. Did I do it? Yes. Okay. There's always a way. There's always a way. And that, my friends, is how to make a peekaboo easel card. And then you've got your fun little peekaboo here, and it's like a surprise when it's shut. So that's the card. Next up, I'm going to show you how to make this box. And the box, really easy. These are brand new boxes. We just came out with them. They're called Scalloped Kraft Treat boxes. They are in my online store. They're available in my online store. And they come in a package of 8. So the first thing I'll do here is show you how to assemble the box. Bring in just a hair. There we go. Okay, so the box comes in 2 pieces. There's 2 pieces to each box. No assembly, nothing. It's so easy to do. Literally, you just do 2 flaps, and boom, and your bottom is done. And then for the top, same thing. 2 flaps, and close that, and your top is done. And that just goes right on there. It's a good size, right? These are really good size. In fact, they are 3.5 by 3.5. So that you can fit the cookies in here, you can fit good sized treats in here, you can fit presents in here. There's a lot that you can fit inside these little boxes. All right, next we're going to make the belly band. So the belly band slides on and off. I am using Blushing Bride so that it matches the card. And I've got 2 strips here. These measurements are on the PDF that you can find on the resource page, stampwithtami.com. And I am just going to slide this through, and I'm going to score again. There's 2 blades in my trimmer. There's a light one and a dark one. The light one is the scoring blade. All right, so I'm going to go 2 inches, 5.5 inches, and 8 inches. And then on this one, I'm going to score at 3.25. The reason why is because it's not quite long enough. One sheet isn't quite long enough to go all the way around. The boxes are pretty good size. So I need to attach 2 together to make it work. I feel like I missed a score there. No, I didn't. I just missed a bend. Okay. So this goes... Boom. There we go. So it'll go together just like that. Now you can use seal adhesive, tear tape, your Steel Plus, the adhesive of your choice here. It's totally up to you. I'm only using regular seal right now just because time. But also I used seal on my original, and so far it has not had any popping, so that actually worked out really well. Okay, so I just put those 2 panels together. You can't even see a seam there. This one's going to have a little seam, so you could leave that one a little bit longer if you didn't want to see a seam. Actually, you're not really going to see it anyways because it's tucked underneath. Okay, so that's our belly band. Let's see how well I did. I can tell you right now I didn't do so well. Because I can tell it's not really a rectangle or square. It's a rectangle, right? Okay. Let's wrap it right around the box. Oh, come on, don't make a liar out of me. Right? No, say it isn't so. Say my measurements are right. Ugh, I don't like it. I think I'm gonna have to go back and rework my measurements for you guys. It's not going on the folds like there. Wait. No, I think it's okay. I'm gonna tell you what I did to get these measurements because I think that you will find that you'll like it better. I actually just took, and let me just find a piece of scrap paper that I can show you with. I actually took the two pieces of cardstock in a strip, stuck them together, and just wrapped them around the box and took my bone folder and made a score at each line. So I think that if you do it that way, it's going to come out perfect rather than, because I did try, I really did try to go back and measure my scoring lines where I had them, but it doesn't, I don't think I like where they landed in my notes. So I might go back and rewrite that PDF for you guys. Okay, so with that, I went ahead and cut this from the Tasteful labels, and I cut that from the Tasteful label, so that's going to go right on the belly band. And if you remember on step 1, or step 2, where we cut out, actually it was in the beginning, we cut out the Designer Series paper keyhole, and I said save that piece. Well, here's where you want to use it, right there. Pretty, right? All right, and now we are just going to layer the flower and the words. The words are going to go on dimensionals. The flowers I just kind of put down with the Stampin' Seal. All right, so layer a flower right about there, and ta-da! And then we have so the belly band slides on and off. And lastly, I've got these pastel pearls, and they come in this pretty pink that just was perfect. This makes good, you know what, this box would make really good party favor treats, bridal shower treat. You could even change it up a little bit and make it for a baby shower if you wanted to with the pink. Naughty little pastel pearl. All right, and our box is complete. My only recommendation would be don't go by my measurements and actually just make your own by wrapping it around the box. But other than that, this is the Keyhole Easel fold. I hope you have enjoyed that. Really fun fold card and our Scalloped Kraft Treat boxes. Thank you for joining me today, and I will look forward to seeing you next week. I hope everyone has a wonderful weekend.